veritatis sum, ut testimonium veritati perebeam, omnes qui veritatem audiunt, vocem meam audiunt.
Veritas. Quid est veritas?
Alleluia, alleluia, everybody sing alleluia, for the Lord has risen, it is true, everybody sing alleluia. 30 years he walked the land, alleluia, alleluia, to all in need he lent his hand, alleluia.
Welcome to the series of videos which is devoted to an analysis and better understanding of the Second Vatican Council. Today we're going to discuss a couple of basic questions to lay the groundwork. Number one, is there truth? And number two, if there is truth, can it change? So the first thing we need to do is establish just what is truth. And truth is defined as the quality or state of being true. It is also that which is true or in accordance with fact or reality. So it seems that the concept of truth is largely wrapped up in what is real. Aristotle said, "The true and the false reside not in things, but in the intellect." In regard to intellectual truth, St. Thomas Aquinas wrote in his Summa, "Truth is defined by the conformity of intellect and thing, and hence to know this conformity is to know truth. But in no way can sense know this, for although sight has the likeness of a visible thing, yet it does not know the comparison which exists between the thing seen and that which itself apprehends concerning it." St. Thomas also differentiated between intellectual truth and divine truth. In Ascent of Mount Carmel, St. John of the Cross wrote that information from our senses is actually an impediment to divine union. Philosophers that came later came to the conclusion that we can't depend upon our senses when we're trying to determine what is real. For instance, the angle of a rowboat's oar is distorted when we look at it through water. French philosopher René Descartes tried to determine whether we can determine whether anything was real, and he famously wrote, "I think, therefore I am." He realized that whatever reality might be, it was being filtered through his own mind and thoughts. Therefore, he knew that he was real. Descartes just didn't stop with that sole conclusion, though. Knowing that he existed, he was able to build upon that with a philosophical system that included God the Creator. Still, there are probably some people who claim that they can't be sure of the reality of everything. Maybe it's all an illusion.
The matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
Nonetheless, if somebody throws a snowball at the same person's heads, they'll probably duck. They know that the pain that they will experience will seem very real. And even if the snowball that they claim is an illusion, it will cause the pain. And in practice, they act out of necessity as if things of the senses are not an illusion. And it can be asserted that it really makes no difference whether they believe perceived reality is an illusion or not. And it has been written that a difference that makes no difference is no difference. Today we're not focusing on divine truth, and we're going to save that for future installments. Even atheists will agree that there are certain truths in the universe, and for instance, we can all state with perfect certainty that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Still, some people might object, saying 2 plus 2 isn't an absolute truth, so much as that it's a statement that states nothing beyond what is implied by its terms.
See, in a dream, you can still know things like 2 and 2 makes 4, and all triangles have 3 sides. These are just truisms, tautology.
Tautology is a statement that is true by necessity or by virtue of its logical form. A truism is a statement that states nothing beyond what is implied by any of its terms. 2 plus 2 equals 4 is much more than a clearly self-evident statement. It was the cornerstone of building a very elegant system of mathematics. Mathematics, in turn, can be used to build a very elegant system of physics. My second response is if 2 plus 2 is a truism because it states what is implied by its own terms, then so is the statement that God is a spirit infinitely perfect. It would likewise be a truism that God has no beginning, he always was and always will be. These statements are implied by the term God himself. My third response is that 2 plus 2 equals 4 seems like tautology or a truism because it is extremely self-evident. That's because our intellectual faculties have been informed by our faith on this subject. For many people, our intellectual faculties have been informed by our faith in that we know there is a God. And no matter what the conditions are, 2 plus 2 will always equal 4. And it was true 3,500 years ago, and if God wills the universe for another 3,500 years, it will be true then. It's not subject to change. And it is also not subject to people's perspectives. There is no relativism to this truth.
Again, how many fingers?
I don't know. I don't know. 4, 5, 6. In all honesty, I don't know.
Better.
And perhaps a person might incorrectly believe that 2 plus 2 equals 5, but that person's belief does not affect the actual truth of the matter. Even if most people, even if all people believe that 2 plus 2 equals 5, it would not affect the truth. Now, we could probably have done a couple hours on this topic, or maybe even a whole YouTube channel on it. But this is just a short video to lay some groundwork and to establish that there are certain truths in the universe that are not subject to change. Now, do you agree or disagree? Feel free to disagree with me. Post your comments down below and let us know what you think. We'll be back again maybe in a week or two, but in the meantime, please pray for the church.
Imagine accepting the truth.